I'm going to show you guys how to decode p25 phase 1 DMR, pretty much anything that DSDPlus supports, just using DSDPlus SDR Sharp and your SDR dongle. You're going to need to install 3 programs, and I'll have the websites linked into the description. The first thing you're going to want to download is the Windows SDR software package. The second thing you need is DSDPlus. You're going to want to install the main program and then the DLL files. So both of these. The third thing you want is the VB cable virtual audio device. So now we can go ahead and set up our drivers for our SDR USB device. So go to your SDR Sharp folder, wherever you extracted the files to. Scroll down until you find a program called zadig. Go ahead and run that. You might need to right click and run as administrator depending on how your computer is set up. But once you have that opened, go to options and list all devices. And then search for bulk-in interface 0. You're going to want to make sure it's selected, the Win USB driver is selected, and then go ahead and install that driver. It should take about 3 minutes, and once it's finished you can close that out. The next thing we need to set up is the VB audio cable. So right click on your taskbar on the sound icon and go to sounds, recording, cable, scroll down until you find your VB audio virtual cable. Right click that, and if there's an option to set it, if it's not already set as your default device, go ahead and it'll say like set as default communications device or something, but make sure that's set up, and then double click it, go to listen, and right here what this does, you can have it selected or deselected. It just plays the raw audio coming from SDR Sharp, so on top of the decoded transmissions. It's useful if you're trying to debug stuff, or if you don't think SDR Sharp is outputting audio, you can go ahead and select that just to make sure SDR Sharp is outputting correctly. But ideally you want to unselect it so you're just hearing the decoded transmissions. And then play back through this device, set that to your speakers or your headphones or whatever you're going to be listening on. You can go ahead and hit OK and get out of those menus. Alright, the next thing we can set up is SDR Sharp. So go ahead and open SDR Sharp. Hit the hamburger menu in the top left corner and select source. Make sure your RTL SDR USB dongle is selected, and then you can hit configure source. And if this is grayed out, like it is here, what you can do is just close SDR Sharp, unplug your dongle from the USB hub or your computer and plug it back in, and then restart SDR Sharp. And go back to sources, and there we go. My dongle is selected, and I'm glad it's actually kind of bugging out on me, so if this happens to you guys, I can show you how to fix it. So set your sample rate to 2.048. I found that works just from my research and from other users. It's a good value to have. For your RF gain, I found that 14.4 decibels works. If you have a crappy antenna or you're far away from the source, you can crank that up to however high you need to be able to get a better signal. And then you can close out of this and go to radio. Make sure you have this set to narrow FM and your bandwidth is 13,500. Select squelch and set that to a value of 50. For your filter, make sure that is Blackman Harris 4 being used, and then close out of that. Now in the audio tab, for your output setting, make sure you have that selected. To make sure you have Windows Direct Sound cable input, or 1 second, I'll pull it back up again. Windows direct sound cable input, VB audio virtual cable. Make sure that's selected as your output. For your latency, set that to a value of 100, and make sure you have filter audio deselected. Once that is all good, you can close out of this, and then you can start it and tune to whichever frequency has the transmissions you're trying to decode. So this part is kind of the part I had problems with, and it's going to be hard to show you because for some reason this program likes to be configured differently for every computer it's on, but I'll show you what I mean. So go to Utilities, DSDPlus, and then go ahead and run this. And if you if there's messages like scrolling down and it's decoding, then you're lucky, you don't have to do anything. But if it's like this, then you may need to set up the configuration. So take note of your audio input devices and output devices, and then right here, this is the one that it's actually using. So if it's using your cable output VB audio virtual and your headphones, then that's great, you don't need to do anything. But if it's not, I'll show you what you need to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and minimize these program windows real quick to make it clear for you to see. But go find the CC is a batch file in the DSDPlus folder. Right click that and hit edit. And here is the configure the flags that the program will be using when it runs. So you can use -I and then the number, your input device that you want to be using. So that's going to be your audio cable, your virtual audio cable, because SDR Sharp is outputting to that, and then this program is going to use it as input. And then for output, I have that set to my my headphones. And then I have M. Basically, you do L, R, or M for left, right, or mono. I have it for M. It works for me. And notice how this says 4, right? So right here, 4 is my microphone. So like I said, once you install this program initially for the first time, these numbers might be different, and so you're going to need to set it to the appropriate number. But since I have everything set up on my end, this is kind of useless because I can just hit DSDPlus right here and it'll start running. But after you make the changes to your CC batch file, you can also run the program with those changes by hitting CC. Just double clicking on that, and your changes you made with your inputs and outputs should be there. So since mine's set up, I'm going to just run DSDPlus and then go back to SDR Sharp, and I will try to find a appropriate signal so I can demonstrate the decoding process. Alright, so right here, there we go. I've already found some sort of signal. It looks like it's a p25 phase 1, and you can see it's decoding it. For me, it's pretty hit or miss on if I get audio or not, because locally my police uses encrypted communications. So I believe DSD will go ahead and mute it if it's encrypted, so you're not just hearing garbage. But if you do sort through the frequencies and find something that is not encrypted, this will work for the sake of the time that it will take for me to find a proper frequency and the video. I don't want the video to take forever. I'm just going to end it here, but if anybody has any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to help you. So thank you, and I hope this video helps you.